This is the center LCD panel. What we see is that the polarizing film has completely faded across the entire panel, and this needs to be replaced. The polarizing film is the very front piece on this assembly. So we'll start by removing these little plastic blocks. We're going to do it very slowly so that we don't tear them. We're just going to apply a little bit of pressure and let them release on their own. And that's all there is to it. Again, we want to take every precaution to keep from scratching the back side. We'll scratch the graphics off because this is just paint on glass. And we'll scratch the polarizing filter, at which point the panel will stop working. This is the way that the panel will look when we replace the polarizing filter. We can see that it's the correct direction because it blocks the most light. So this is the polarizing filter repair kit that we sell. You get 2 of these speedometer / tachometer panel filters, 1 center information panel filter, and a paint that is good for retouching missing or worn paint on the back side of these panels, as well as a brush. As we can see, the panels are pre-cut to size. They're also marked as to which way they should be installed. For the center information panel, we would install it just like that. Arrow points up so that all of this text is readable. We'll just make sure that this text is readable. That makes sure that we're installing it on the correct side. The kit also contains a razor blade. The razor blade is useful for removing the old filter. Now, to remove the old filter, we're going to use something to protect the back side of this panel while I'm scraping on it. This is a rubber shelf liner product that I picked up at Walmart. It's about $4 a roll, and it makes for great traction, and it also protects the glass panels very well. We're going to take the razor blade and just very lightly scrape the very top layer off of this filter, and this is coming off very easy. I think it's probably it's an older model, but I'm able to just go ahead and peel this up, no problems. We're going to be very careful because the edges of this glass panel are sharp, so don't cut yourself. And don't break the panel, as they cost about $125 a piece to replace. As we're peeling this away, we can see the area that's faded. And we can see that very clearly. It started out a uniform color that is about this gray, and over time, sunlight has faded the portion that we need to be in place. So we're going to set the old filter aside, and we're going to use the razor blade to scrape the glue off the front of this panel. And again, glass and razor blades are sharp. Be very careful. When we're finished scraping the glue off the front, it should feel very smooth. We want to make absolutely sure that there's no dust left behind, that there's no extra glue left behind, because either of those will result in a bubble underneath the new filter material. So we want to be very careful to get this clean. The next step is we're going to use a glass cleaner. This is eyeglass cleaner / Windex. A Viva paper towel. Fold it over a few times, and we're just going to clean this to get all the dirt and the dust and the fingerprints off. As soon as we're sure that panel is clean, we're going to peel the top layer. This is the layer of protective film that says protective film side. We're going to peel that off This is the not gluey part that faces out. Okay, and we're just going to peel that very slowly without wrinkling the filter material. And we can throw this part away. Remembering which way is up. We're going to make a final pass. So in a previous video, I taught you how to install these filters using a credit card. Since then, I've found a better way. This is a small rubber roller. It's called a brayer. It's used by the printing industry. So to apply this, I'm going to peel the adhesive side back. I'm going to align it with one edge. I'm going to take the roller, and in one motion, I'm going to apply that filter material to the panel. Every once in a while, a large air bubble will get trapped underneath this filter material. If that happens, the material is absolutely liftable. To do that, we can peel it back to the point, we peel it back until the air bubble disappears, and then we roll it again. Since we took our time, I see absolutely no dust spots, no air bubbles. This looks beautiful. I'm just going to roll around the edges to make sure that the material adheres to the glass. Next, I'm going to take one of the razor blades and I'm going to trim away the excess material. Now, on some of the edges, we will see a raised bubble. We want to make very sure we don't cut this off while we're trimming the film to size. I'm going to hold this razor blade at an angle. And trim off the excess. Now what we see is one completely restored LCD panel. The process is identical for the other two panels. Take your time, make sure the panel is absolutely clean before you apply the material. Use the roller, and it should come out looking perfect. The next step is to retouch any missing paint on the back side of the panel. What this does is it blocks the light from coming through in places where it shouldn't, and it just gives you a better overall look. Okay, and I made a mess, but we're going to take some of this supplied paint, and we want to stay away from any of the areas that have graphics, any of the rectangles, any of the lettering. We will go ahead and retouch the larger areas that I'm able to get to. And the way that I'm checking is I'm just picking it up, looking at a source of light. And we're going to set that aside and let it dry. Again, we're going to protect the back side of this panel. I think it's doing something.